of our wheatgrass series. It's Coach Steph here with the box, and we're talking about how to plant your sprouts. You've sprouted your wheat, it's ready to be planted and grow into wheatgrass. What you're going to need, some sort of containers. I got these from a grocery store, poked some holes in the bottom. I don't know if you can poke some holes in the bottom. You can see the roots coming through a little bit. And put it on the lid so it has a place to drain as you water it. You can buy all kinds of fancy things. You don't have to. These are things I have. So, food containers. Poke some holes in the bottom just with a knife. Just poke some holes for drainage all around there. I cut off the lid and I'm using that to catch drainage as I water the plants. Next, in Utah, I find that wheatgrass grows best when you give it a little bit of dirt. It's just something to hold on to feed it. So I put just a tiny bit of dirt in the bottom of these containers, and they grow best when you pack it. So I put one container on top of the other and just press it down to pack it so those roots have something to hold on to. And then get your sprouts. I emptied a jar because I'm sprouting quite a bit. I emptied a jar, and you're just going to put the sprouts into this container. Then this dirt is moist. It's got some water in it already. You're just gonna lay it out on there, and let me get you a better picture of what this looks like. Okay, here's the sprouted wheat. And you're just going to take this is a little bit clumped together. I let it go a little too long. I mean, it'll still work fine, but if you just sprinkle them out over your dirt, and you don't want them to be too clumped together. So this is about the spacing I like. They're just not, that's from boxing, you guys. So cool. I don't know why I think I'm cool when I injure myself, but there you go. So, this is about the spacing you want with the seeds. And then, the first time I water, I give it a really good water. Just really kind of soak them. I'm going to have some paper that you've pre-cut. This is just, you know, like a grocery sack, a paper bag that I cut. And these still need to be in the dark. They're not ready for light yet. They still need to be in the dark. These, it's like they haven't come out of ground. So you cover them up, and then with the spray bottle that you fill with water, or you can get your paper wet in the sink. You're just going to keep this wet. Just keep them moist, keep them wet. You're going to keep these covered until they really start peeking out. Like there's grass growing and that starts to push the paper up and it looks like they want to be uncovered. That's when you take this off, and that takes probably, gosh, 2-3 days after they've sprouted. And you're going to just, with a spray bottle, this is just one that I've already had, this isn't cleaner in here, it's just water. You just spray them. You don't want them too wet because they can mold. You don't want them too dry. If the roots start to shrivel, you know that they've gotten too dry. These look perfect. So you're just going to keep them wet morning and night, and keep them covered, and they'll sit on your counter. You can put them on a bookshelf and let them just sit there. And grass. Now once they get to a grassy stage, now these are not ready to cut. These are like halfway to the cutting point. When you water these, water them once or twice a day. You're watching the roots. Now, there will be little fuzzies on these roots. They've kind of grown out of their fuzzy stage. At the beginning, they're a little bit fuzzy on the roots, and that is normal. That is not mold. If mold starts to come up, you know, do your research. I haven't had too much of a problem with mold, but I just put it like there's a little bit of fuzziness going on right here. Those are the roots. That doesn't look like a mold to me, but I still am going to use the sprayer and just spray it down. I don't mist it because that seems to create mold. I just want to keep the roots good and moist. Once, twice a day. They like to be, have, you know, about 72 degrees. These ones are ready to be exposed to light more. And these will grow and grow. Now these will be about double this high before I start cutting them, and they'll kind of start to want to tip over, and they'll start to lose their color a little bit, and that's when you're like, oh, I gotta cut these and make sure that I juice them before they like really go floppy. So that's how you grow this wheatgrass, and you'll just cut with scissors, and we'll talk about harvesting and juicing your wheatgrass on the next video.